and welcome to Heartland Knits and Sews. My name is Vicki, and this is my channel where I talk about all the things I love to do, mostly knitting and sewing. Today I have a Friday Sews video for you. My first Friday Sews. I've been wanting to make one for a while, and I thought no better time. I have a fabric haul for you. So I don't keep a large fabric stash like a lot of people do. I have a small one, but I prefer to kind of collect fabrics for specific projects that I have coming up in the next couple of months. So that's what all of these are. I've been collecting these since the kind of after Christmas sales. Before we get into that, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who commented on my last video. I was wearing a top that I was like not very confident about the color, how it looked on me, and I had so many lovely comments. Thank you all so much for your kind words. And welcome to, I had a little flurry of new subscribers, so welcome to all my new subscribers and the ones that have been around for a while. I have a lot to show you, and I want to keep this kind of short, so I want to get right into it with what I bought at the first after Christmas sale. Andrea at Beyond the Pink Door had, I think, 20% off for fabric. And I also had a whole bunch of rewards points accumulated throughout all last year. I had 25 euros in rewards points, which was a decent amount. It took my shipping down by half. And Andrea very kindly allowed me to use both the sale code for the fabrics and also the rewards code. I sent that to her separate, and she manually took it off, which was really kind. But what I ended up buying, I just bought 2 fabrics and a pattern from her. And the first fabric was one that I had been watching her live last summer when she showed this for the first time, and it really intrigued me. So I was so happy that she still had some left. And it is a Lisa Taylor fabric. It is this, and that color is not, it's much redder on my iPad than it is in person. It's a very much of a sort of magenta, sort of fuchsia color. And it is a stretch gabardine, which really intrigued me. It has, let me try to get a single layer to show you. So it has a little bit of stretch. I don't know if that's showing, in the fabric, which is really intriguing, and I love this color. I think they call this, Lisa Taylor calls this super pink, which I love. So my plan for this was a little summer skirt. I think it will be perfect. And to that end, I bought the skirt from Lisa Taylor that she came out with last summer, and it's called the Groovy Skirt. So this is a very sort of simple kind of A-line skirt with, it has a front fly and kind of belt loops. Now I have a little A-line skirt that I love, that I make all the time. I've made it at least 10 or 12 times. It's this one. It's New Look 6106. And you can see they're very similar. This one does have the, the Lisa Taylor one does have the front fly and stuff. And I just thought, it would be nice to have a little bit of a change, but it's definitely a shape of skirt shape that I like to wear. So the aim was to make this in the pink fabric. And this is one of my Make 9 plans also. And I am wearing my first Make 9 item that's finished. This is a Jennifer Lauren Bronte tee. I really love this shape. I have these little black buttons, which I just really think set it off. The fabric is a rib knit, a viscose spandex rib knit from Minerva, and I will put links to everything. And actually, this is my second Make 9 finished. This is the Granville shirt by Sewaholic, and this is out of this beautiful, I'll try to take a close-up picture of, it's a beautiful cotton fabric with a silver lurex thread in it, like little stripe in it. this was from a Think Pink box last autumn sometime. So yes, I'm up to date with Think Pink box makes, and I've got 2 of my Make 9s done. So I do plan on making a 12 of this pattern, but let me put a pin in that and come back to it because I want to show you what else I bought from Beyond the Pink Door first. The other fabric that I bought from Andrea was some of her white denim. Now I mentioned that I had the Polar jean jacket kit from her last year, and I had made it in the white denim. I do have that made up. It needs some major surgery, but it was lovely, lovely to sew it. So I still have it wrapped up in the paper that it came in, but it is just a beautiful white denim. It has slight stretch to it. I think she has sold this on her website. She has it in a lot of colors. I think, of course, she's in the midst of moving to another country, so I'm not sure what all is up on her website right now, if I'll be able to link to things, if she's taken everything down or not, or what. But anyway, I have wanted to make white jeans for summer for years, and I find it hard to find just the perfect white denim. At one point, years ago, I got it was listed as white denim. It was a Cone Mills denim, and when it came, it was really more of a natural shade, more like this kind of a shade, which is fine. I am going to sew that up next month. I am going to, because it's been hanging around far too long. But I still really, really wanted to do white summer jeans. I had multiple swatches from Mood that either the weight wasn't right, it was too heavy, or there was like too much stress, not enough stretch, or yeah, what I got in my jean jacket kit was so perfect. So when she had the sale, I thought, I am going to get that, and I will have it. And I actually bought 3 meters of it, which is way more than I need for jeans, because then I will have enough left to do a little summery skirt with it. So either the Groovy or that other one, but I will have it kind of in waiting for it. So yeah, that was my Beyond the Pink Door purchases. I mentioned that I was going to do a toile of that skirt, and one day I had to go to Joann's for thread or something, and walked down one of the aisles, and the denim was on sale, and I had the extra coupon, and I thought, okay, let's get some. So I actually have it still in the bag and everything, because I am one of the people who I don't wash my fabric immediately when it comes in the house. I hear a lot of people say that that's what they do. My system is I bring it in, and then right before I'm going to make it, I'll wash it and press it and then cut it out. So this has not been washed, and when I show it to you, you'll see why I'm keeping it in this bag, because I don't want it. So it is this black denim, and it's really quite a dark, it's actually darker than it's showing up. I think it's the light's reflecting back. It looks more like that. But you can almost feel excess dye on the top of this fabric. So I'm hoping to set it with salt and vinegar, set the dye with salt and vinegar before washing it, and then hopefully it won't come off while I'm working with it. Last summer I had a indigo denim from Joann's that it was a beautiful dark denim, and I washed it and everything, and it was fine, even when it was pressing. But while I was sewing it, it was coming off on my fingers. It just crocked really badly. It came off on the bed of my sewing machine. So I'm hoping to prevent that with this. After I made that little skirt last summer, I did the salt and vinegar thing, and it helped, so it doesn't come off when I'm wearing it. So I'm hoping to get that set before. So I'm keeping it in the bag, and so that nothing else touches it, you know, like weight or anything. So I'm going to put this back in there, and then I'm going to go wash my hands just in case. I have precious fabric that I want to show you next. So my new current obsession, sewing obsession, is Maison Fauve patterns. I hadn't really ever heard of them before last year when I bought the Polar jacket kit from Beyond the Pink Door. But then right before Christmas, I bought the Tigris, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, their coat pattern. That's on my Make 9 also. I planned to do it in January, but then decided that November was probably a better time to be sewing the coat, and I wanted to get different fabric. The fabric that I had, I just didn't think was going to work. And actually, I'm really glad that I didn't sew it up, because they just come out with a hack of that pattern to make a trench coat. So it might turn into a trench coat instead of a winter coat. Anyway, the fabric that I had, it was a beautiful black camel hair, and I needed to sew it up, and I decided that this was the pattern. The Metropolis jacket was the pattern that I wanted to use for it. I love this. It's a very kind of Chanel inspired jacket. It has beautiful lines to it, and it has a really interesting construction with the way these, like, everything is constructed. The pockets are constructed. It has, you can do a band over the shoulder. I'll show you that. So you can do it with a band over the shoulder or not. And then, of course, the focal point of it is this double row of buttons. It is a faux double-breasted jacket. So it looks, when it's buttoned, it looks like it's double-breasted, but really all those buttons are on one side of it. It's very clever. Double-breasted things, I love the look of them, but they just really don't work for me. So yeah, I became obsessed with this. So I ordered the pattern in from Maison Fauve in France. My other pattern I ordered when I had an order from Minerva coming, I added it to that. So I ordered this one directly because I wanted to get some of the haberdashery that they used in it. It has shoulder pads, which I got. I really wanted to get the shoulder pads from them because if it was designed, I didn't know, like, sort of how thick, because shoulder pads can be, thick or thicker, or, well, not quite that thick, but you know what I mean. And it's like beautifully shaped for the back of your shoulder. So yeah, so I wanted to get the shoulder pads, and then also uses something called cigarette, which I've done this with silk organza in dresses, but I remember I learned this from a Susan Colgy class, but she talked about cigarette, but I didn't kind of know how thick it would be. So this is what cigarette is. And you can sort of see, it's like a batting, it's a little squishy. And this is sewn into the top of the sleeve cap seam. And it is on the arm side, the sleeve side. And what this does is it just fills in that little area. So the shoulder pad sits on your shoulder, and then this sits in that seam, and it fills that in so that you doesn't kind of cave in underneath the shoulder pad. It fills in that little bit of area. So I wanted to get that. So now that I know what it is, I can sort of, know how thick it is for any future ones, or maybe I'll just have to order from them again. And also, those buttons are the focal point of this jacket. I live in a button desert. There's a Joann's here. It's very small, at least for the time being it's here, but it's very small, and they have this tiny little rack of buttons, which, are not really the kind that you want sort of on show. And so I felt like it was worth it to order the buttons. So these are the buttons that they used. They're, I think, about 1/2 inch across, and they are kind of rounded. They're on a shank, and for their size, they're remarkably, they're heavy for their size. So I'm a knitter, so when I kind of weigh buttons, it's like, okay, could I put this on? I wouldn't put this on a fingering weight sweater. Let's just say that, but not too heavy for a jacket at all. They call these, on their website, they call them jewelry buttons, and they really are. I think they were definitely worth sending away for, with all these other things. This jacket is fully lined, and that's the one thing that I don't have yet. I didn't want a real contrast lining, but I wanted it to have a little something. And about the time that I was ordering the pattern from France, Mood came out. They, sent an email with a bunch of new sort of linings that they were stocking, and so I got swatches of a bunch of those. So then I've ordered it, but it's sitting. Mood has a new way of delivery. Things used to come either UPS or USPS, whichever one. They both came about the same amount of time. It was no big deal. Since the beginning of the year, my orders have come DHL from New Jersey to Chicago in fairly quick order, after processing a couple days. And then they literally sit in Chicago for at least 5 days. And they just say waiting to transfer to USPS. So now my lining is sitting down in Chicago, but I can show you the swatch of it. So this is the swatch of it. It's a jacquard, and it's black and charcoal. And I just think that will be so pretty in that coat or jacket, right? If you have it open and you get a flash of the lining. So it's not just a kind of plain solid color, but it's got a little pattern in it. I think it'll be really great. So hopefully that lining will come quickly. Not an hour after I sent in that order for the pattern and all that other stuff, I instantly sort of regretted not buying any fabric, like one length of fabric. The fabric is pricey, but I bet it's really good quality. And I so regretted it, but I didn't want to get into like trying to write and say, can I add this to my order? Because French and, I'm doing Duolingo French, but I'm not really there yet. So I thought, no, just wait for it to come, and then, you see how fast it comes, and, if there's any problems or whatever, then you can put another order in. So of course I picked out exactly what I was going to order right away. Anyway, so my first order came with a lovely little thank you card, and on the thank you card was a bunch of swatches, which they're so smart. Companies that do this with little swatches are so smart, because I can be easily swayed with swatches. I don't have a really nice fabric store to look in. I'm sure my stash would be much larger if I had, but there's just something about kind of touching the fabric and seeing it and whatnot. So this card came with my order, and I kind of ran my fingers down it and stopped at this one and just said, I must have that. I must have that, which was very strange because I've never owned an animal print garment in my life, ever. A couple years ago, I really wanted leopard print shoes, and I looked for them. I couldn't find just the perfect ones I wanted, so that never happened. But yeah, this just screamed at me, I must have that. And I haven't followed this company long enough. I know they do collections, fall, winter, spring, summer, but I don't know how long like their fabrics, lasted. Would they be around for a while or whatever? And I know myself well enough that when I fall for something that hard, that I would always regret not getting. If I didn't get it, I would always regret not getting it. So this is a jacquard fabric. So of course, I turned right around and ordered that fabric. I think my order came on Saturday. By Sunday night, I had put my order in so they could process it by Monday. And so this is, that they call it Fauve Party. And oh good, you're seeing it. So it's got this like kind of metallic, like lurex-y, kind of coppery thread in it. It is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. I love it so much. It might be one of my favorite fabrics ever. So I just got a meter of this, and I'm going to make my little new look skirt. I've made it so many times before, and yeah, it'll be perfect. I can get it out of a yard, so I can certainly get it out of a meter. And yeah, I'm so thrilled with it. I'm really glad it's showing up, that metallic is. And I've I've analyzed, like, why did this one hit me so much, and I think it's because it appears black and white, and you know where the like kind of regular leopard print has like brown or tan or whatever in it, it doesn't have that, but it has that metallic thread instead. So yeah, this I love. And then I also, of course, ordered the fabric that I originally had chosen to get, which is also a jacquard. It's a very jacquard sort of thing. And it is their Lily Viscose jacquard, and they've gotten it in this beautiful cream. Now, I don't think I've ever felt a viscose fabric as nice quality as this. There's just a beautiful like thickness to it. It came wrapped up in a beautiful tissue, which I am keeping it in until I'm using it. So yeah, it is beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. I don't have firm plans. It's going to be a blouse of some kind, and I kept going back and forth. I was going to order a pattern, and I couldn't settle on what pattern I wanted to get. You know, whether I wanted a button up kind of one or one that. They have all kinds of really pretty ones. And I just kept thinking, what if in the spring, summer, they come out with, because I figure that collection will be coming out fairly soon, probably by April, I'm guessing. Maybe they'll come out with the perfect blouse, and I'll use it with this fabric. I did buy 2 sets of buttons, however, just in case, because Button Desert is where I live. So I bought these, which is, they're on a shank, and these are called the wink buttons, so I thought those would be really pretty. And then the other ones I bought are mother of pearl, and they're just this little round, you know, mother of pearl, but they've got a little bit of a thickness to them. So yeah, whichever one, you know, if I put one set on these, I'm knitting a bohus cardigan that has a white background, so the other one could go on the fabric and one could go on the sweater. 2 last fabrics. One was is this, which also came from Mood, and it is a viscose spandex jersey. It's a little bit thin. I'm sorry I'm not unfolding these all because I just don't have time to fold them all back up. But it's going to be another top like this, I'm pretty sure. It'll be a nice little palette cleanser. This was another one that I bought I had a swatch of from a while back, and so I bought this, and when I ordered the swatches, the lining swatch. Then the last fabric that I have is from my Think Pink box, which I did an unboxing for last week, I guess. But I know a lot of people don't watch those. But this is just your heads up in the case that you haven't gotten your box. I'm going to show the fabric right now. So look away. So this is my Think Pink fabric. And I do try to get these sewn up before the next box arrives. So this is a viscose twill. And I'm pretty sure, I bought the pattern, but you know, it's never for sure till you cut it out. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to do the Maison Fauve Niki dress. It was one of the suggestions in the ebook. The lovely Judi from Running So and So did the pattern suggestions for the ebook this time. Andrea was crazy busy with moving, and so Judi stepped in, and she loves French pattern companies, kind of like I do. And there were a couple of new ones on there that I had never heard of before. But this was one of her suggestions for it. The Niki dress was one of the suggestions, which I hadn't really taken a good look at before because it looks a little just kind of normal. It's really quite cute. There's a couple different options to do, and it has a really pretty box pleat on the sleeve. It's a very kind of swingy dress that I think will work with this fabric. So my plans are for the next couple days, I have a couple days, is to sew up my little skirt. I want to have this to wear as much as I possibly can, I want to have this to wear. So that is my first plan. And then sort of next week, I plan on doing the jacket. That will leave me a couple days to get this little dress finished. It is not a super complicated dress. There's no closures in it at all. So those are my plans for the next couple weeks. So now I have a question for you. When you watch kind of makes videos, do you like to have kind of separate makes videos of, you know, this is everything I made in February or whatnot? Or do you like them when they're in a Friday sews and like, oh, I just finished this blouse, here it is, so that you see it that way? Which do you like better when you're watching Friday sews? Please, I would love to know. It will help me sort of plan things a little bit better. And be sure to subscribe so that you can see all these things sewn up at some point. They all should be done in the next couple of months, I'm thinking. And then we'll go on to thinking about kind of summery makes these. Thanks so much for watching. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. And again, don't forget to subscribe. But until I see you next time, from my heart to yours, happy sewing.